Hello all, this is James Johnson, aka Sulfurblade, and I'm here to be salty. Very, very salty. Steam Awards have gone through and have been announced for this year. And I had hope. I had hope that maybe the Steam Awards might rectify some grave injustices that were done earlier this year at the Game Awards. I thought maybe the masses of gamers could be counted upon to be objective and vote, I don't know, objectively? But it seems we live in a society filled with tweens? I don't know. Well, let's just start to go over some of these winners, shall we? Most fun with a machine. So we had some interesting choices in this list. We had Automata or whatever, which is like an anime chick running around killing machines. That's not really. I don't know why it was even part of the category. It didn't fit. But you did have some choices that did actually fit. You had Factorio, which, wow, very. Everything about Factorio is a machine, right? You had the semi game, Euro Truck or American Truck Simulator 2. Anyway, that was one of the options, and then you also had Rocket League. So immediately I have to wonder, was there bias here? Did Rocket League win on its own merits? I mean, the Steam Awards never actually shows us how everyone voted. You know, did this game get 33% of the vote and that game got 32% of the vote? Was it close? Was it a blowout? They don't show us the numbers. Or if they do show us the numbers, I'm not aware of them and I would love to know about them. So if you know about the numbers, can you point me to where they're posted by leaving a comment or something like that? But as far as I know, going by my knowledge of said Steam Awards, we're gonna I'm gonna assume that the numbers aren't shown to us, and we have to take it on trust that they are actually calling the ones that we voted on to be in case the popular choice, right? And yeah, Rocket League is a fairly popular game, but it is a Valve game. And Valve is Steam. And so, I'm skeptical here how Rocket League, a cars playing soccer, well, it's a fun game, sure. How would it have gotten past Factorio, which is everything to do with being a machine? And Factorio takes a lot more thought process, where Rocket League is far more, I don't know, fast-paced pew-pew oriented. But then, if you look at this list, everything is fast-paced pew-pew oriented on this list, and it's making me wonder if gamers are, I don't know, devolving into a group that doesn't care about using their mind and using intellect, but would prefer just to pew-pew their way through society. In which case, maybe we're doomed to ever get a decent game because gamers are devolving. So anyway, that's fun with a machine. Rocket League one. Okay. Yeah. Best alternate history. Now this one really strikes me as bizarre, right? Yes, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is in a historical setting, so I suppose it vaguely fits the category of alternate history. But the one that screams best alternate history, um, that was nominated, that is, there were other ones that definitely fit the bill that didn't get nominated, like, for example, Crusader Kings 2. Um, but I digress. Europa Universalis 4, its cousin or brother, however you want to look at that, did get nominated. And, well, obviously, that's a very historically inclined game and would make a lot of sense here. Other games that might make a lot of sense here are like Slytherin games like Order of Battle or something like that. But no, we got a Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Don't get me wrong. It's a great game. It should be in the game of the year. Well, it was in the game of the year category. And that's where it deserves to be in the game of the year category. It's not really historical. It is historical, but in the most vaguest sense of the word. And to win the Best Alternative History Award over a Europa Universalis 4, again, it makes me scratch my head about the validity of these awards and, I don't know, maybe the quality of the voters voting on said awards. Do they actually use their brain when they vote? And are the actual popular votes being the ones that are winning, or is Valve just deciding to go against the popular vote and claim that these games have won? I don't know. I'd love to see the numbers. I really would like to see what the numbers of gamers are that are thinking this way, and so that I could at least see, how much of a disparity there is between the fast-paced, pew-pew oriented, action-paced gamer that seems to be dominating the gaming society compared to gamers who are more inclined for thought-provoking, realistic games. Ones that actually make you think. That's not to say Assassin's Creed was a bad game that didn't make you think. It's just to say, again, it doesn't fit this award category well, and the games that did fit it well should have won. Better with Friends. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Um, yeah. So, of course, a first-person shooter that's multiplayer is gonna be better with friends. Um, I don't even know what to say about this category. So we had other shooter oriented games on this list. Um, but why? Why were there so many shooter oriented games on this list when there's so many other non shooters that are indeed better with friends? I think Payday 2 should have been the clear winner here because Payday 2 is, in fact, something that requires actually thinking, and it requires teamwork, i.e., your friends, uh, to actually think about and play their part and not screw up. And it's a great game with friends. It's an amazing game with friends. The other games on this list, the shooters, well, they're not any better with friends. You could have complete strangers playing them with you, and it wouldn't make a difference. But if you had complete strangers playing, say, Payday 2 with you, you're likely going to have some failings. Like, a complete stranger is going to decide he's going to go all Rambo and go against the team's plan, and you'll never succeed. So, the better with friends category, it completely suits Payday 2, but first person shooters that you can throw in any random person off the internet to shoot at you is, well, I don't need my friend to be shooting at me. or with me, depending on which side you're on. So I don't know why the first person shooters were even in this category. But yeah, so again, pew pew oriented action paced gamers voting on their most popular game in the list for their tastes. Best environment. Has anyone actually played Witcher 3? I mean, how the hell could that be voted best environment? The the game is pretty ugly. I mean, I could play uh, the Hunter Classic, which is going on damn near 10 years old now, and it's a better looking game in every way, shape, and form than The Witcher 3. There's tons of games that are better looking game than Witcher 3. Most of the games on that list didn't even have that great of environments in the first place, except for, say, Subnautica, which indeed had a very beautiful underwater environment, and it seemed, again, the sensible choice to pick, right? Because we're voting on best environment, not most popular game. But somehow The Witcher 3 gets thrown into best environment because it's popular. I mean, if we're having a popularity contest here, fine. I guess The Witcher 3 obviously is always going to win because it's like the most popular game ever. But is it really the best environment? Is it really better than Subnautica's underwater environment? No, it's not. So once again, we have weird popularity crap going on to pick out these choices instead of picking them out on their actual merits. 2018 Best Developer. What did I just say about Witcher 3? Enough said. Popularity contest. Uh, who was the best developer on this list? It was Paradox. Paradox has put out so many high quality games in the past year. What has CD Projekt Red done in the past year? Jack Diddley's squat. But yet they somehow won the 2018 Best Developer Award because they made The Witcher 3 once upon a time. Which wasn't this year, by the way. It was a couple of years ago now. But hey, we'll vote CD Projekt Red because what have they accomplished this year compared to what did Paradox accomplish this year? Big difference between the two, but it's a popularity contest. Labor of Love. Oh boy, I don't even want to get started on this one. So Skyrim ended up in this list, which I thought was kind of fitting in that it did kind of come back. Its opinion got somehow resurrected, and Skyrim went from being shit to something people were willing to give a try again. So from that outlook on Skyrim, or not Skyrim, No Man's Sky. Did I say Skyrim the first time? No Man's Sky is what I'm talking about. It got put in this list, and well, I don't think No Man's Sky, for example, deserved to win this. Um, Grand Theft Auto 5? What has Grand Theft Auto 5 done? What have they further developed to make Grand Theft Auto 5 so much better? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get why Grand Theft Auto 5 is on this list other than being popular. Again, another pew pew popularity contest toss on here. Uh, yeah, this whole category didn't really have any amazingly developed games of 2018 that were older. So yeah, you had the farming game, Stardew Valley. It was on there, but what did it really do? It added multiplayer, which I guess was something, but the multiplayer isn't really all that. But you know, it took a very popular game and it did do some development to it. Was it an extensive amount of development? Was it a Holy Fury expansion for, say, a Crusader Kings 2 that gets expansions year after year after year after year and is the epitome of the labor of love category but yet wasn't a nominee? No. So this is what I'm talking about. Are people thinking when they're picking this stuff, or are people just picking their trying to take one of their favorite games and somehow weasel it into a category? Yeah, I think it's the latter. It's popularity weaseling in your favorite game into a category somehow instead of trying to make the best pick for the category itself. VR game of the year. Well, who the fuck cares about VR? I don't give a crap about VR. VR is, yeah, you, you know, I have no desire to play a VR game, period. So a VR game category being voted on by VR game voters is fine. I'm not even going to comment on it because I don't do VR, so I don't know anything about VR. So Elder Scrolls Skyrim VR might be the perfect pick, but I don't really care because who cares about VR? And finally, the category that makes me the most salty is the game of the year. What the fuck over? Player Unknown's Battleground was not released in 2018. It was released in 2017. If it was going to be the game of the year, it should have been going up against Stardew Valley. Oh, was it Stardew Valley last year? No, Stardew Valley won game of the year, what was it, 3 years ago? I forget who it was last year. But anyway, I digress. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds should have won Game of the Year last year if it was ever going to win a Steam Game of the Year award because it released last year, not this year. The Monster Hunters did actually release this year. It was viable in the category. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, again, another one very viable in the category. Hitman 2, as far as I know, did release this year, but, who cares about Hitman 2? And obviously, Crusader Kings 2 was the obvious pick for Game of the Year because it's like Game of the Decade. It's the best game that's come out since Daggerfall, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, so if any of you remember Daggerfall is what made Bethesda a thing. Bethesda has done nothing but go downhill since Daggerfall, and that's partially because they got rid of Julian LaFay, the person who understood the vision of what Daggerfall was supposed to become, and they replaced him with people who were more willing to make money than make a great game. And so that has been what Daggerfall has become now into Skyrim, is you have seen a game that's been dumbed down, watered down for the masses, from Daggerfall to Morrowind. Dumbed down, watered down for the masses. From Morrowind to Oblivion. Dumbed down, watered down for the masses. From Oblivion to Skyrim, dumbed down, watered down for the masses. And now we see Bethesda finally failing all over the place with Fallout, etc. Fallout 76 being completely lambasted. Their other failed attempts. Bethesda has lost money this year. Seriously. And we are eagerly awaiting for the next Elder Scrolls game, which is undoubtedly, if the trend is continuing, going to be more dumbed down for the masses. So, if we thought Skyrim was dumbed down, you can only imagine what the next title is going to be like. But anyway, Daggerfall was the pinnacle of the Elder Scrolls franchise as far as complexity and size and scope. It was everything that the Elder Scrolls should have eventually be continued to be and refine. But alas, that's not the way Elder Scrolls went. Now here we had Kingdom Come Deliverance, finally a game to push the envelope of what games should be, to really create an environment that's real. People walking around doing the things that people would do. To live a life inside of a game and actually feel immersed in it, because people don't always stand in their shop all night long. They go to bed. They travel to the bathhouse to take a bath. They go shopping. They get food. All these things happen in the Kingdom Come Delivery universe, and no game has quite done it as well. Not to mention the realism, the scope, the well-written dialogue. I mean, there's so many things about Kingdom Come Deliverance that are spot on and, dare I say, perfect. Yeah, it released with some damn bugs. But we're talking about Warhorse Studios, which is, well, a brand new studio. They brought us a game of AAA quality, a game of such scale that it could rival. It honestly rivals The Witcher 3. It honestly rivals Skyrim. It honestly rivals AAA titles from a nobody, from a brand new developer who'd never released a game before. And they brought us a home run, a game to really push the boundaries, a game of real value and real merit. But Steam has decided that PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, a game that didn't even release this year, should be the game of the year and not Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's a fucking joke, is what it is. It's a travesty. Yeah, I'm salty. I'm very salty about this. I think everyone should be salty about this. But of course, you're not going to be, because if I'm reading anything out of these votes, it's that the average gamer is an idiot. Let's just let that sink in a little while. The average gamer must be an idiot. They seem to be obsessed with first-person shooter at fast-paced pew pew. And anything that requires a thought process, they seem to be completely inclined against. That's what these votes tell me. These votes tell me that gamers are idiots. And I'm evidently part of the minority of gamers that still likes to be challenged, that still likes to have to actually think about something. God, what would gamers of today have done with games like Myst and Pissed? I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get it. What was it? There was a game that an old game that came back that just released here this year with much gusto in 2019. Uh, re- uh, the one that made Brad Pitt's wife famous, the girl with the too much stuff in her lips. Tomb Raider. No, not Tomb Raider. It's like Tomb Raider, but with zombies. And you had like Rattay City or Rattay City, and you had this zombie outbreak that was happening. What the hell is the game called? Raccoon City. That's what the city was called. I can think of all the things about the game, but I can't think of the fucking name of the game. What the hell? Anyway, so this game's old. It's an old school game, right? With a lot of horror-based scare tactics and a lot of mystery and puzzles that you go about having to complete in order to progress through the game. You have to backtrack and acquire things and go back to different points to utilize stuff that you find in your adventure to unlock a puzzle so that you can continue on. But it has zombies in it, and it has scary horror in it. But it still has the need to actually use your brain and figure out puzzles. And while I haven't played the brand new 2019 version of it, I've played the old school game a lot, and from what I understand, it is supposedly very much like the old school game. Um, and I still can't even remember the name of it. But anyway, it's supposed to be a pretty good remake of it. And it's getting great reviews. But of course, zombies and horror. So the Pew Pew crowd is going to be obsessed with the zombies and the horror, and they're probably annoyed with the fact that they're going to have to figure out puzzles and backtrack and do things in order to continue the storyline. That's probably the most annoying part of the game for them, but hey, there's zombies to shoot, right? So it's a great game. But yeah, I digress. So this is the thought process of the modern gamer that is just, it's making me wonder why. Why have gamers become so simple? Why don't they want games that aren't of intellectual value? Why don't they want games with realism? Why don't they want games with a challenge? This doesn't register with me. This doesn't compute. A gamer, for everything that I know a gamer to be, wants challenge. Roguelike games, those are gamer games. Seeing how far you can get without dying is a gamer thought process. Save scumming certainly isn't. When have the majority of gamers turned into save scummers? Where where is this coming from? Why are gamers going in such a strange direction? I mean, it, look at the votes. It's written on the wall here. This is one of the worst Steam awards. This is the worst Steam awards I've seen. I mean, the last couple of years haven't given me a lot of hope, but Stardew Valley won a few things, so that gave me some hope that there were still some gamers of intellect out there. But I don't see a lot from this year that makes me think there's still gamers with intellect. If anything, we've digressed since last year. Let's ponder that. And the final thing I'm going to ask is why? Why? And I'm being serious. Why? Can anyone give me a serious answer to why this is? Please make that comment in the section. And no, I don't I want a real why answer, not some troll material. This is not a why to feed the trolls. This is a why from a serious perspective. Why have gamers become the way gamers have? Why do they fear challenge? Why do they dislike realism? Why do they dislike having to use their brain? Why do they crave pew pew, fast paced stuff that doesn't require thinking? When has that become the gamer trend? Why? Anyway, all. Hope you enjoyed this video. Quite disappointed. We're very, very salty in the Game of the Year outcome here of PlayerUnknown's Battleground. As far as I'm concerned, the Game of the Year will always be Kingdom Come Deliverance. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, it's the game of the decade. And as far as James Johnson, aka Sulfurblade, is concerned, Game of the Year, Kingdom Come Deliverance, no doubt about it. And with that, everyone have a great day and peace.